DIY.
Scarlett is an artist from New York that is buzzing heavy and is getting all kind of cosigns in the industry from legendary artists that are putting their arm around her and being like, look, we're going to take you into whatever room. Swiss Beats is one of those producers that has been kind of taking her under his wing. The latest song that she has that she's been pushing for quite some time is This Is New York. Move the F back. This was kind of discouraging, no, not on her part, but really when you start to think about all the legends that are around her. This interview here with DJ Vlad, they're talking about offers that she's gotten from other labels. And in the midst of this, DJ Vlad asks her a question that leads him to actually do some teaching about how labels work.
With everything that started happening, with the features and everything else like that, the labels started to come around. I mean, you were talking about label meetings and so forth. Have you officially signed yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Are there some big offers on the table? Yeah.
Yo, could you believe, this record label going to try to offer me $100,000 to sign?
Hey, you see how quick that New York energy changed? Yeah, they call it. Hey, you want to know about this one label? That's that New York energy. You got to love it.
$100,000? You going to keep me in the hood. I'm trying to get out the hood. Y'all got all that money. Oh, these record labels got all these billions of dollars, and you can't give me $1 million out of the billions?
For context, she's talking about a label that offered her, based upon whatever she thought that was going to be calculated, she was like, that ain't enough to get me out the hood. That ain't enough to move anything over here. I need you to really make an offer that's life-changing, because the music that I'm doing is affecting a lot of people, and she has a vision of how huge she's going to ultimately be. So she's not even trying to hear it. But here's where things get really interesting.
I'll be back next time. But they never played with me like that again. Somebody offered $100,000. Somebody offered $250,000. Then now somebody offered $800,000. And we just got to keep it going, man. Got to raise the bar and raise the price up.
Right now, you're buzzing and you got a lot of cosigns and there's songs that are reacting and going viral. Tax them as hard as you can right now. You know what I mean? Get as big of a bag as you can. More importantly, just try to find the right situation.
I have a feeling that when she told Vlad, I need that million, Vlad did some calculations in his head based upon what he's already been seeing with her buzzing and being connected to so many different names that he was like, only $1 million? And I feel like that's where he's kind of hinting at before he goes a little bit deeper into it.
Because ultimately, all these dollar amounts are all loans, right? It's not like they're really giving it to you in your pocket. They're saying, okay, we're going to give you $1 million, but you have to earn that back. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's really kind of like a bank. Like, okay, we're going to give you this $1 million, we're going to give you this budget and blah, 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 but you got to earn it all back until you see any profit after that.
Pay attention to her body language. You can tell when somebody is all ears and possibly, I can't read her mind, but possibly hearing something for the first time. Are hearing it put in this way for the first time. I know sometimes artists that play like they don't know no better, like just to put the illusion out there. But this really, when I saw this, I don't know, my heart kind of started to drop a little bit because I'm like, I hope somebody around you telling you about how these deals work, how these loans, these predatory loans work when it comes to major labels. I hope somebody is.
Which is the whole point. You don't want that $1 million to be the last amount
of money. So wait, you don't keep the money they give you?
Not exactly.
When I tell you I watched that, and I've never met this young lady a day in my life. I followed her on social media. I'm excited to see a different brand of female hip hop be pushed to the masses. I think it's super dope that she's able to share so many different sides of her art, and she doesn't do it in a way where it's like it fits into a box. I love the fact that she's presenting her and the world is opening up to everything that she's presenting. That made my heart drop though. As an independent, that made my heart drop because I'm looking at that and I'm like, you got all these folks around you, and not even just, I don't even know her team, right? Because her team could be somebody that is coming up with her, but all these damn folks around you that have been in the industry for as long as they have, nobody's had this conversation yet. And the fact that DJ Vlad is the first person to have this conversation with her, I'm a little discouraged about that.
Not exactly. They'll give you, if they say it's $1 million deal, they'll say, okay, you get a certain amount of money up front, but then we're going to budget $1 million for your project, meaning that $200,000 might come from, your promo tour. Like the label's going to have to pay for all that. Your hair and makeup. A female rapper is expensive. So, your stylist and your makeup artist, the label's paying for that, but you're really paying for it yourself. right? But
Oh,
they're
yeah.
they're going to lend you the money up front. They're going to say this is part of your $1 million deal, but this amount will go to your makeup artist. This amount will go to your stylist. This amount will go to your travel.
Remember that video we broke down where that guy was offering, whoever was watching the TikTok, there was a white guy in a dad hat, and he was offering a deal, and damn near felt like 70% of my audience was like, yeah, I'll take that deal, give it to me. These are the things that they don't talk about. These are the things they leave in the fine print with the hopes that you don't have a lawyer that can comb through the fine print and find them. Vlad TV just broke down for her that there may be an offer that they tell you on the table, say it's $1 million. They're already incorporating expenses on your behalf, especially as a female MC, because there are certain expenses that a female MC will have that a male MC won't have. Well, hip hop is changing. I was going to say makeup budget, but I just seen a clip of Drake with yellow nails. So maybe that's shifting. But for right now in 2023, it's still pretty much where the female MCs have a different style of budget. With that, it can be very expensive. When you're talking about makeup, you're talking about the styling, you're talking about just all the preparations that go into that end of things. And then on top of that, the normal expenses, the travel expenses, the studio expenses, the feature expenses. This is what they're already equating. See, the thing about comparing a bank loan to a record label loan that they really don't talk about, bank loans tend to ask questions about where the money is going to go, and they make a decision based upon what you present them. Sometimes they take you on your word. I've gotten loans from PayPal Capital, Working Capital, where you tell them, hey, this drop-down menu, decide what you're going to use this money for. And I said marketing. And here, you're approved for $25,000. It's a big difference between getting a loan like that, where they're not accounting for every single dollar, and getting a loan like this. They've already decided what you're going to do with the majority of your money. And by the time you get that other money, you now have to decide how much of this is going to actually go be reinvested into things that I want to do independently within this particular deal. How much of this is personal expenses? That's what's tricky about it, is that there's so much more a part of how you spend that loan.
This amount will go to the promo. This amount will go for your studio time. And, the whole point is that you want to sell a project that makes 2 or 3 million.
Right.
That ultimately, after you earn back that $1 million, then you'll have some profit at the end. But keep aware that that's how these labels work. It's not really $1 million in your pocket. I mean, maybe some deals are, but most deals are not like that.
Wow.
Fam, ask me why I do the content that I do. It's not because I expect that a Scarlip is going to come to Curtis King TV and watch a video from me. But I do this kind of content because I recognize that so many of you have the potential to be sitting in the very same seat that she's sitting in right now, with the same opportunities that she has right now with her. Me being able to see from my vantage point how many legendary, brilliant, creative minds that she has around her right now that are not telling her these very bare, basic ways that labels do business. In the beginning of this video, you could see how excited she was about all the offers that she's receiving. She's like, yo, it's getting good. So to me, that means that somebody is probably negotiating on her behalf, and she's putting a lot of trust in this person to negotiate the right deal for her. Feel how you want about DJ Vlad. I salute DJ Vlad for even bringing that up. Now, he does a lot of stuff that I think his platform don't always highlight the greatest things about our people, but that was a pretty decent moment. That is the part that can take down the most talented artists, not just her, but just anyone in general. As much talent as some of y'all have, as much talent and potential that you have, even being aligned with people who have been in this business 10 times the amount of years that you've been into it. They've seen the worst of this industry. For that conversation not to come up first before somebody's negotiating on your behalf, like, do you know what you're getting if I go talk to these labels? You've already got a lot of stuff going on independently, and you're doing so much that some people rely upon a label to provide for them. You have already done that with your own buzz. As a hip hop fan, as someone who sees the potential in this up and coming and emerging artist, somebody who's right there, it's discouraging to see, but I'm grateful that we're in a space now where not only does that information come to her publicly, but we're able to spread it amongst ourselves. But isn't that very interesting how the illusion doesn't add up to what it actually is when you sign on that dotted line? These are my thoughts. What are your thoughts, though?
DIY.
DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.